The stock market is approaching a new all-time high. Gold is at the new all-time high. Bitcoin and crypto continues to grind downwards. Today, guys, I am going to share with you a couple of very important charts showing us why Bitcoin is not actually also catching up and going up together with the rest of the markets here. And more importantly, we need to look forward. What needs to happen for Bitcoin to catch up here? And have I been wrong? Are we not going to see a new all-time high in 2026? Today, I'm going to talk about all of these things, guys. We do have some analysts coming out and saying that Bitcoin is going to go much lower here. So make sure to stick around, guys, from the beginning until the end of this video. I'll go over everything right here, right now. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Chris, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day. If you're new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. So let's kick it off here for Bitcoin. And you can see that we're still above the orange line here at $88,400. Now, we know, or we knew from the start, that this was going to be big support as we were going down lower here. I said we're going to bounce off of this level. However, the bounce is not very strong. And I do still think that we're going to see some sideways action. And I will explain the reasons why here in a little bit. But just know that we're still below all of the support, the resistance levels, the key resistance levels that I've been talking about previously, that you are already very well aware of if you've been watching my channel. And for those of you who shorted Bitcoin based on the fact that we lost this orange line here, and I said that we're gonna, most likely gonna go down here to 88. You've been making a lot of gains, so congratulations to you. But now we need to think about the next major moves. What's gonna happen in the markets? First, quick update on Ethereum, still grinding sideways here. You can see we're still stuck in between these two levels. You can see that Solana, same thing here. We're going sideways for Solana, still stuck in between these levels. And crypto is just boring in general because the S&P 500 is approaching a new all-time high again. And interestingly, gold also made a new all-time high today. And you can see that, let me see if I can find silver. Silver is also going nuts here. So yeah, it's very unfortunate and it's concerning that everything continues to make new all-time highs while Bitcoin still continues to grind downwards. Now, I've been saying that I still think that over this year, we're going to see a new all-time high. However, the longer this year goes, and I've always said that probably towards the end of this year, and especially after October 10th, when you saw a lot of liquidity completely exit the crypto market, the longer we go here, and that had a massive effect in the fate of crypto, so to speak, like the confidence in crypto with all of the manipulation and everything that happened during that event. So a lot of people just took their money and left, and they're putting that into gold, they're putting it into silver, stocks, whatever it may be. So retail investors are still investing, they're just not investing into crypto anymore. And what needs to happen right now is we need to see a flush out, right? And not necessarily price-wise, but I would want, like I've said that for a very prolonged time, I would rather have a flush out and then us having a sustained move towards the upside instead of this sideways grinding. And I will explain why we're seeing this sideways grinding. First, if you look at the others chart, you can see that the others chart is right now testing a key level of support here on the weekly time frame at the $200 billion level here, orange line. And what is the others chart? It is the altcoins outside of the top 10. Now, if we lose this level, I see this chart go down to the next level of support here, which is actually first going to be this one. So there we go. So first we're going to have a drop, most likely down to 9.4. And then we could lose that one and also go to 80. Now, this is particularly for smaller altcoins, guys. And I've been telling you for many, many months already to be very cautious with altcoins and that I see them grinding down lower. And for Bitcoin and some quality altcoins is different, but for altcoins in general, be very careful. I see them continue to go down over time. Now, why are we seeing Bitcoin not having a sustained move towards the upside? Why does it seem that something is pushing down Bitcoin? Quick update first, guys, on my trading strategies. So my trading strategies are still making gains here for every day that goes by. Using the volatility here, it's not been super volatile the last 2 days, so not a lot of gains being made. but at least we are seeing something here. I'll continue to update you on this. And also for the trading competition that we are seeing right now on Pionex. First, if you want to join it, sign up to Pionex right here, claim the deposit bonuses. You have my main coins right here, and then you have a huge trading competition. Click on this link right here to join the trading competition. How are the standings right now? Remember, this is both for grid trading and manual trading. So for grid trading, we do have Gleg Moose, who is the number one right now with 3K in gains. Absolutely amazing. Let's see how this is going to continue. You see also 3 people in the top 10 actually shorting here with the trading strategies. So that's cool. If we continue down here for the manual trading, you can see that this email address still is the number one with 168% gain here across his account during this time period. So if you want to join the trading competition, guys, just click on that link in the description and then click on join now. Okay. So why are we seeing Bitcoin being pushed down? It is because there is still some overhead resistance levels, both on the chain and price-wise, that we are yet to break through. Now, I've talked about the price resistance levels, right, at 101. I've talked about the short-term holder cost basis also at around 101. We have these orange lines. But let's continue and take it a step further. So apart from the short-term holder cost basis, which is actually at 98.4, that's why we are failing to break through it, because as soon as we get to the average price of the short-term holders, which is, by the way, people that have been accumulating Bitcoin during the last, I think it's 1 to 3 months or less than 1 to 3 months, then they start to sell because they reach their break-even price. Let's take it a step further. And what we can see is that for the holders that have been accumulating Bitcoin the last 3 to 6 months, so not super short-term, but still kind of short-term, they have a average price of 112,600. Now, what we are seeing right now is that even these people are starting to sell at a great loss. They were selling greatly here at the end of 2025 during this pullback, but also right now, even in this pump that we saw, you can see that these people were offloading their Bitcoin at a loss, even though their average price was much higher. So what we're starting to see is that people are getting bored. People want to get out of their crypto positions and just FOMO into gold, right? That's what we're seeing. And if you look at also how much of the Bitcoin supply right now is at a profit or at a loss, 75% of the supply is at a loss. So a lot of people are underwater. That means that for every pump that we see, there's going to be more and more people they're going to say, okay, I'm getting close now to my average price. I'm just going to dump my Bitcoin right now. And that's why it feels like we have like a wet blanket on the price, right? Every time we see a little bit of a pump, it seems like institutions and people, retail, whatever, they're just dumping their Bitcoin, pushing down. We cannot have a sustained move towards the upside. And this is what I've been warning you about. I've been telling you to be cautious on the short term because this is the dynamic that we're seeing right now. Now, normally, what you would see in this kind of situation is that you would have a flush out, right? You would have a flush out, people would capitulate, we would go down, and then we would have a speedy recovery. But that's different right now. I'll share with you why. So this is how it would normally be. So look at this. This is the analyst from, or it's actually the founder of CryptoQuant. And what he's saying is that we're entering into a bear market right now. Now, there's one key thing I want to tell you about though, is that every single time when we have had decent moves here towards the upside the last few months, when I've been telling you to be cautious, this guy has been telling you that we are going to go up to new all-time highs in a very short space of time. So he just recently started to become cautious and now he's calling for a bear market. So keep that in mind that he has been completely wrong for the last 2 years or so. Okay, or at least the last 6 months. Now, what he's saying is that you have these peaks here where people are selling at a great loss. So you have this peak here, selling at a loss. That's the start of the bear market. And then when people are underwater, the same dynamic which I explained to you happens, where people, when they reach the average price, they start to sell and just the price continues to go down. Now, what we're seeing right now is the start of people starting to realize losses here, right? So keep that in mind, that he's saying that this is the start of essentially this big mountain here, or inverse mountain, when the prices continues towards the downside. Now, what I think, and the thing is, Michael Saylor is holding up the market right now, and some other treasury companies are holding up the market. because he's buying more and more Bitcoin. And if he didn't buy Bitcoin, then Bitcoin would be at a lower price, yes, but at least you would see a massive capitulation from people, and then you could have a speedy recovery being fueled by Michael Saylor also buying at a lower price. Instead of holding up the market here on his shoulders, I've been saying for months and months and months, I hope that he stops buying Bitcoin, because let whatever the market dynamic is going to happen, let it happen, and then we can have a speedy recovery towards the upside. That's what I'm expecting. That is what I was expecting previously. But the fact that he's just holding up the market here on his shoulders is just delaying the entire process. So that's why I'm a little bit concerned. I still think that we're going to see a new all-time high in 2026, but I hope that he's going to stop absorbing all of the selling pressure by himself and just let the market go down and then have a bounce. Let it go down at least here to 81 again. Tap the previous low here. Make people question this entire thing. Make people panic sell. And then we can have a sustained rally instead of these people selling as we are going up. Okay, so let's continue. The leverage in the market right now is increasing a little bit. In fact, if we go to CoinGlass, you can see that the leverage is of course not at the same point in terms of open interest as we had here previously in 2025. However, it is slowly rising. And as the open interest is rising, and as we're seeing more and more leverage in the market, which I'm showing you right now, then there's more likely for us to have a decent volatile move. So be prepared for that, guys. Most likely, on the balance of probabilities, I still think that we're going to grind sideways here. But if we see a big thing in the traditional markets, like a big drop in the stock market, then yes, $82,000 is going to be the next level. And instead of, like I said, Michael Saylor holding up the prices here, I would love for that to happen so that we can have a sustained move towards the upside being fueled by fundamentals, because the fundamentals are looking really good for Bitcoin. This is the kind of environment you want to see right now for Bitcoin to thrive. This is the moment of truth. This is the year which we need to see Bitcoin prove itself, that it is that store of value, that it can be digital gold and catch up with these metals that are going completely nuts right now. I think there's a good chance that it's going to do that, but we need to see it this year. So let's see, guys. Let me continue here, and it looks like gold may finally be breaking out against stocks. So I showed you a few days ago the price of gold compared to the S&P 500. In fact, let me share with you that chart again. So we go to the chart here with gold against the S&P 500 right here. So yeah, you can see that. Let me see which time frame this was. This was on the monthly time frame. So let's see if we can replicate this on the monthly time frame. There we go. So you can see the breakout, something like this. So you can see the breakout right now for gold against the S&P 500 is happening in full swing. And at the very least, I think we're going to go up here to the previous swing high, because there's a lot of uncertainty right now. And that in itself would be an additional 200% against the stock market, guys. So if the stock market continues to go up, gold is going to go up higher. Or if the stock market dumps, then, gold is going to retain the value. And that is what many people right now are betting on, because the markets are looking really weird and shaky, right? With everything that's going on. I will share with you some headlines here moving forward. But I think 2026 is going to be the year when you need to hold assets. The next few years, in fact, like next 5 years, 4 years. Hold assets as you're going to see money printing happening. That's the only way that they can get themselves out of this mess, because that's always what they do. They print money, but that just kicks the problem of the can down the road even further. Okay, so you're seeing this breakout, and I'm still like, the more I see this, the money is at some point going to also flow into Bitcoin, if Bitcoin is going to prove itself as digital gold. So that's still the base case. Now I'm going to go through some headlines here, stuff that has been happening real quick, and why this is causing a lot of uncertainty and looking likely that gold and the markets in general are going to continue towards the upside. Specifically gold, guys, Bitcoin catching up with it, but I also think that stock market is going to do pretty okay. Now, the Bank of Japan rate decision came in as the forecast. They didn't change anything. Also, the Bank of Japan is offloading its own bonds, basically, off of the balance sheet, which is crushing the bond market in Japan, which is also causing a lot of uncertainty. Again, this is the stuff that we want to see for Bitcoin to prove itself, We need to see that. Okay, so everything is lining up here. European investors say they are increasingly wary of holding US assets. So they're going to dump US assets and potentially buy gold or something hard. Like this year alone, with everything that's been going on, proves that you need to hold hard assets. Also, Trump is saying they're going to do 25% tariffs on Iran, and anyone trading with Iran is going to get this as well. This is also a base case for gold to continue towards the upside with these kind of uncertainties. He's saying that he will have something in Greenland in the next 2 weeks. He wants to take over Greenland essentially, or something is going to happen. Also, he is pushing for a regime change in Cuba. All of these things are causing gold to just rally even harder towards the upside, guys. Michael Saylor is saying, thinking about buying Bitcoin, and I like it. I like that he's buying Bitcoin. I just hope that he will think for a bit longer and buy it at a lower price. Don't hold up the market here on your shoulders. Let the short-term sellers capitulate. Let the institutions capitulate and sell here. Let Bitcoin go down to 81 or whatever it's going to be. And then we can have a sustained rally towards the upside. And we can make that new all-time high in 2026, because I believe that the fundamentals are looking really, really good for Bitcoin to have a run. We just need to get rid of the seller, the overhang people that are just, every time we see a pump, they're pushing down the price lower. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one.